Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next speaker. Also a very interesting character. He is Stephen Fernando. Stephen is a soft skills trainer, an MC or master of ceremony, and also a comedian. He is not a politician, okay? He is a comedian, a real comedian. He uses humor in presentations. He said a few, actually, I knew is actually many championships in humor and speeches at regional level. Regional level means involve a lot of places and also country. He is going to share or talk about benefit of using humor in conversation and presentations. Benefit of using humor in conversation and presentation. Stephen Fernando.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lee. You can hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Because in my area, it's raining very heavily, and then they got thunder and lightning. But I'm not very worried about lightning because, with a head like this, the lightning comes and then it's reflected back. So thank you, Mr. Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to be talking to you today. My topic is using humor in conversation and presentation. For the last over 30 years, I've been focusing on this. I've used jokes, humor in presentations, and over the last few years, I've developed a module where you can also use in conversation. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, humor is very important in our daily life. Simply because if you're talking to somebody and you do not have much humor or fun lines or complimentary or say something funny, you'll find it's not easy to get the person's attention, whether it's an adult or children. That is why now many organizations, they want the executives to learn humor. Not a lot, but at least how to tell a few jokes when they're making presentations. And when you are talking to business people, in the course of business, if you have one or two jokes, people like you for that. People love humor. People like to laugh. A lot of stress. Not that difficult to learn humor. Let me share with you how you can get to use humor in presentations and conversation. Firstly, my dear friends, you start with collecting short jokes. Simple jokes, two-liner jokes. Two boys are fighting. One boy told the other boy, my father can beat up your father. The other boy said, so what? Every week my mother beats him up. Or this young boy goes and works in a KFC and he's every day asking customers, ordinary or spicy? Ordinary or spicy? Ordinary or spicy? One day he's going home and then suddenly a man comes up to him and says, give me all your money. So this young boy innocently asks, ordinary or spicy? You see, if you have simple jokes like this, and then when you're doing a presentation, you start off with the humor, usually connected with the topic, people will be more endearing towards you. Same thing if you're having a conversation, and the conversation goes on for some time, you're able to share one or two jokes, people will like you. That's why fun makes conversation and presentations fun. You needn't be extraordinarily funny. So if you were to ask me how to go about being a humorist or being able to tell jokes, I'll tell you in this few minutes, very simple. Number one, you develop the habit of collecting simple jokes. Very simple jokes. But make sure, as we follow in Toastmasters, they do not touch on sex, politics, and religion. I sometimes do stand-up comedy, I tell jokes, I do not touch on this. Thanks to Toastmasters, the guideline was very good. Because in Kuala Lumpur, you have got this fun group or the humor group, and sometimes they talk very vulgar jokes. They may put down on politicians. So it's not good. But of course, we can once in a way touch a bit about politicians, but don't hit them. For example, now in Malaysia, every now and then they have change of government. So they had a new health minister. So this new health minister was visiting the hospital. And then the matron in charge said, Yang Berhormat Minister, I would like you to visit the labor ward. He said, no. Labor ward, you ask the labor minister to visit. Short, simple jokes. An elderly man goes to see a doctor and the young doctor says, uncle, you need an operation. The elderly man says, I've never gone for operation before. I'm so scared. The young man says, doctor, I've never done operation. Uncle, I've never done operation before. You first time, I first time. So don't worry, it's okay. Or a young lawyer goes before the judge and he says, Your Honor, can I have a postponement because I'm constipated? The judge looks at him and says, motion denied. So, my dear friends, you collect these small jokes, and then whenever you can, you try it out among friends or when you're doing a function. One good way to improve on your humor is to volunteer to be MC. Like I know Mr. Lee is a very popular MC in Tawau and surrounding areas. Of course, because of his languages and the way he speaks, you can do it also. Volunteer to be an MC. Birthday party, company function, family function. They're looking for some MC, wedding. Oh, I can be the MC. Don't worry. Number one, it helps us, public speaking gives us confidence to speak in front of people. Number two, we try out simple jokes. Then the question arises, what if I tell a joke and people don't laugh? Very simple. You tell a joke, people don't laugh, pretend it's not a joke and continue. That's it. But there's another strategy which I use. If you tell a joke and people don't laugh, immediately you ask a question. For example, if you're talking about exercise and then you make a simple joke about exercise and or you're talking about food, and then you make a joke like I used to say, well, would you agree that Malaysians are light eaters? Would you agree that Malaysians are light eaters? Then they say no. I say, yes, Malaysians are light eaters. Whenever there is a light, they eat. Some people don't get the joke, so you don't worry. So how to overcome the fear? Immediately ask a question. Right. So can I ask, how many of you exercise regularly? A few hands will come up, a few hands no. So that diverts them from the original script where the joke was and they couldn't understand. Then we continue. Try it out, my dear friends. Humor, according to Miss Judith Walker, who is a trainer in public speaking in Australia, she says humor enhances the presentation, enhances the image of the speaker, and leaves an enduring impression with the audience. So now, before I go, I tell you a joke. You try to remember it, and then you share it with your friends, right? No response, don't worry. Just keep on trying. Now, this joke is very popular, very easy to understand, very humorous. Listen carefully. This is a joke. A young boy asked his mother, Mom, what's the difference between horrible and terrible? So the mother says, son, some time ago we were at the beach and then the waves took your father out to the sea. Oh, that was terrible. Then the boy asked, Mom, then what's horrible? What is horrible when the waves brought your dad back? So there you are, my dear friends. Go ahead and try. Pick up some few jokes. Where can you get the humor? Well, you can get it from the internet. You can get it from those of you who are older. You know about Reader's Digest. Get these jokes. Number one, ensure they are short, not more than 4 lines. Number two, make sure you're aware of the punchline, the line that brings out the laughter. And 3, of course, avoid topics like sex, politics, religion. Then you can try it out with anyone. So don't worry. So now, before I go, I'll tell you another joke. Listen very carefully. Husband and wife go for a buffet. Then the wife keeps going and taking the food so many times. Go take so many times. Buffet dinner, so many times. The husband says, oh my God, I'm so shy. You go so many times. What would people think? She said, I don't worry. If they ask, I tell them it's for you. So there you are, my friends. Use jokes in humor and in presentations and conversation. Slowly but surely, you will improve. And most importantly, the quality of your presentations will improve and you will be known as a talented, gifted speaker simply because people are attracted towards your speaking style. Thanks for the audience. Back to you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Stephen. Please stay online because I have a question for you just to make sure or convince the audience that you are really master of your humor. Are you ready, Stephen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, before the question, thank you for the compliment. All right, Stephen, how did you come to or achieve this new harmony when your hair left you?
I think to be a humorist, first thing we got to learn to laugh at ourselves. So, for example, if you have no hair, then once in a way I do make fun of people who are balding, very good. Or if you are short, we should never allow our shortcomings, physical or otherwise, to affect our roles in life. whether it's as a speaker, as a trainer, as a salesman, we are all unique. So whatever so-called shortcomings in life, we can be very, one of the greatest comedians in the world, Hollywood, was an actor called Mickey Rooney. Some of you older people will remember. Short guy, but everyone made fun of him and he loved it and he became a very popular person. If you're a bit overweight, can make fun. Say, I'm a walking testament of Malaysian food, something like that.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your tips. I'm sure people who have listened to you have benefited a lot from you. Thank you so much. Please stay on. Stay online, but you may turn off your audio and video. That was interesting. I actually laughed, but I did not turn on my mic so as not to disturb Stephen when he was speaking. If he has been saying that collect jokes and so on, the easiest way to collect jokes will be you follow him on Facebook. He shares joke, short two-liners or one-liner jokes, which you can always use and adopt in your conversation, presentation, and also your speeches. He doesn't charge a thing. In fact, if you let's say he speaks at other places, he will be charged, but he do it for free for World Speech Day Malaysia 2022.